Hey everybody, how you guys doing? We have a new patch finally out there. The Khaldor patch hit just a day ago and we already had the first competitive matches. In one of the tournaments that happened on Wednesday evening, so the teams had roughly 10 hours to prepare with a new patch. One of the things that I have to point out before we start with our series between NaVi and Fnatic, which was by the way the grand final, is that Khaldor, the hero itself, was actually banned. And that's pretty normal with a new patch. Usually what happens is that the tournaments and also the leagues decide that for the first week the new hero is not going to be played, to just give the teams a bit more time to really adjust to the new hero, to see what exactly the builds are for the hero, how you counter it, and just to make sure that the competition is going to run on an even level. So we're still having all the other changes, of course, in the patch currently, and the meta got changed completely. I've been talking in my latest patch video about it already, but of course one of the things that was pretty transparent is that the tanks in this patch are definitely going to rule supreme, or at least that's what we started with. We have a double tank meta once again, a couple of teams even experimenting with 3 tanks at a time. And our first game on Tomb of the Spider Queen is already showcasing that. Anubarak is back thanks to the buff on the Beetle AI, and we're also seeing Arthurs in the game. So Fnatic versus NaVi here with a new patch meta, and it's actually pretty exciting to see both of the teams trying to utilize the change of the patch to their advantage. So guys, game number 1 in the best of 3 series between NaVi and Fnatic here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Alright boys, the final has started, our best of 3 series, and I'm super excited for this one because this is gonna be good. NaVi versus Fnatic. And to the left side we're having NaVi with Celium on Vala, of course. I mean, that's the one hero that we see him play all the time. Splendor on Brightwing is looking for friends. Whoopi is playing Falstad. Breeze on Anubarak, and Schwimpy on Stitches, the double hero meta of the new patch once again striking hard. Shinobu for Fnatic to the right side in blue is playing Sylvanas. We have Ace of Spades on Rhaegar. Lowell is playing ETC here, Freds is playing Arthurs, and Kesil is playing Jaina. I am so damn ready for this game, boys. My body is ready. Baby, I'm all the way in here because this is going to be a great one. A best of 3 series between these two teams. Hell yeah, count me in. And we're having, of course, Tomb of the Spider Queen, a great map to start things off here. We had a lot of changes in the patch, and I've been talking about those in the recent videos, but let's just talk about it again and just like go over what's currently happening. In this patch, it seems like the dual or triple tank meta is extremely strong, since a lot of those tanks got changed and have now a bit more versatility, less sustain but more damage. So through all of them, that's pretty nice. And we're having a few adjustments here, which I personally find extremely interesting to that. Normally, when you're thinking about the last patch, what was extremely strong was just a single tank meta, and you would go for a lot of DPS heroes. And therefore, when you will see a Stitches in the game, it was always the sustain build that really prevailed. And in this case right now, Schwimpy actually goes for the heavy slam on level 1. And that just shows us that with the second tank in the game, which in this case is Anubarak, they're going for something completely different. Good hook by Schwimpy here against Shinobu, by the way. A really good one. And we're having Anubarak not going for the Beetle build. The Beetle build actually extremely popular right now because the Beetle AI got buffed by Blizzard. Now suddenly the Beetles don't just like walk randomly across the map. Oh, Splendor! Splendor! Yeah! Freds with that Howling Blast locks him down and takes Brightwing out. That was a good first kill right there. And Brightwing was asking for it. I heard him yelling for friends just a few seconds ago, and I mean, if you ask for it, there they are. It was just the wrong kind of friends, apparently. So yeah, Slam build on Stitches. We're having here on level 1 extended spikes on Anubarak. The Beetle build is a bit more popular, I was just about to say, because of the buff Beetle AI. And we've seen very nice moves. Schwimpy getting taken down. Look at Fnatic, like they are so aggressive in this new meta right now. It's pretty incredible. I mean, against Dignitas already, they did an amazing job. And now all of a sudden, they are also rotating against NaVi with the same eagerness to take their kills. And they get 2 right on the beginning of the match. Also, another thing that we want to highlight here, of course, is the build on ETC. It's a bit different from what we've seen so far. Rolling like a stone increases the range of the power slide by 25%, and on level 4 then immediately the double necked guitar, which also buffs the power slide here. ETC is more of a utility hero, I want to say right now. Think about his role in the last patch, where he was just this magnificent tank that he could never really take down, jumping into the opponent's backline. And let's face it, his main job was just to be annoying as fuck, and he did that extremely well. Right now we're having ETC still very annoying, but he did lose a bit of his tankiness. He has a lot of heal now as well, though, especially on level 13. He has a talent that allows him to heal his allies too. And if you go on level 1 for a talent that increases his heal, with each health globe that you actually take up, then you can get incredible numbers out there. I've been playing a couple of games with the ETC today, trying to go full heal, full support, and I out-healed Uther players. So that was pretty sick, and it's kind of fun to really see these new builds coming up. But for now on this map, of course, it's all about the turn-ins. It's all about the teams trying to make an impression there. Nice root and stun. Wow! Team Cold is going for it. Jaina and Arthur, it's really just this. They are made for each other. I mean, seriously, forget all about like all these other like guys that have been trying to go for Jaina. She really has a connection with Arthur. It's Team Frost there, and when those two are really going for a target, then you know that you are in trouble. Stone Cold killers, that's what they are, in more than only one sense of the word. Freds with that lockdown that he always has there. Very, very well done. But yeah, let's see how exactly this is going to work out for them. Good stun here. Oh, against the Freds, or at least the hook here. But at the same time, guys, I'm just realizing that, of course, the overlay is a bit wrong, so we're going to adjust that on the fly. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but yeah. Rhaegar killed, and that is actually the first kill against Fnatic in this case. So we have 3 kills against 1. My apologies, by the way, for the confusion with the overlay. I hope that you actually paid enough attention to realize that it was wrong, but we fixed it now already, 4 minutes in, so that's still pretty good. Oh! NaVi suddenly starting to give Fnatic a taste of their own medicine. Very well done here. I actually like that quite a bit. NaVi at the beginning taking a bit of a pounding, but then saying, like, listen up, boys, we can do that too, and we're going to show you how it's done. A hybrid build on Stitchers, Shrimpy deciding to go into the extra damage on level 1, so not going for the potential chew your food or regeneration master, but still using amplified healing and tenderizer here to keep the hooked targets a bit closer. And the blue team releases the first few web weavers, so suddenly NaVi not only taking down the first 2 kills for that side, but also getting a lot of experience here and turning those gems in. I like it. They're really doing well. We have, by the way, a very interesting build on Vala that I want to talk about in a second here. I mean, we're talking about composite arrows on 1, vampiric assault, and searing attacks. And this is pretty cool. And why is that? It's basically following the same logic of players like Chris for Dignitas that choose on level 4 the arrow, or instead go straight into Manticore. And the reason behind that is actually quite simple. Right now, with the lack of battle momentum, you don't really get as many multi-shots out as you did before. Blizzard took that talent away from Vala, so now all of a sudden players are trying to substitute that a bit, and they usually go for searing attack on level 1. That also means that you don't really get that many multi-shots out, and Arsenal is one of the things that helps you a lot with the siege damage, but if you try and think about the thought process behind multi-shot, then normally you are already in a good position if you're going for composite. Oh, good escape by Whoopi! But coming back to my train of thought, you're usually already in a good position if you're going for the composite arrows on level 1, and then on level 13 you go for the frost shot because you have a lot of control and you have the range as well. So in this case, instead of going for that extra arrow that Chris uses with his build, they're just simply going for the additional vampiric assault, which helps Vala to stay on lane a bit longer. So I actually don't mind that. It looks a bit weird at the beginning, but once you put some thought into it, it's actually very interesting. We're having standard builds on Sylvanas right now. Oh, and Celium, look at that burst. I mean, Vala can't do anything in this regard. Once again, they're jumping in, and Whoopi, oh, he barrels away. He has hit points. I can't believe that he got away there. Splendor with a protective shield saving him. That was such a close call. Fnatic and NaVi, they are at each other's throat, but you can really tell that NaVi is doing a much better job with the late soaking. They're on level 9, nearly 10 already, and even though those web weavers are now moving against NaVi, without the level 10 talent, it's very difficult for Fnatic to really make an impact here. Guitar Hero taken on level 7 now for ETC. We're having, by the way, also a pretty alternative build on Arthur's. We don't see Rune Tap on level 7. Instead, it is Obliterate. That's an interesting one. So, because at this point, this is something that you don't see all that often. Even though Arthur's builds have changed from the original alpha version, where Arthur's had one build and one build alone, Rune Tap was one of the talents where the teams kind of agreed that it is still standard. But in this case, we're not seeing that. And it's Syndragosa on level 10, as people also call it here in Maru. We have at the same time now again the Beetle moving in and going for the stun. Breeze! Oh, the shock and awe hitting too! Freds is being attacked, but the Ancestral Healing saving this ass. We're having Lowell on the other hand going down after he just got silenced a second ago. Very well done here. And in this case right now, once again, we're having them jump in Yep, there is Splendor. Well, silenced, aka Polymorph in that case, but of course you know that there are new, indicators. That's the Ace of Spades saving himself there. It's a pretty cool game that we're seeing. That's exactly what we want to see when we're talking about the grand final, right? I mean, we have Cindergosa together with Wailing Arrow. We're having now follow Remorseless actually take away. Okay, well, renamed Remorseless is the follow-through talent, still the exact same talent, but the big change is that we don't see the Unstable Poison, which is oftentimes taken out by Sylvanas players since they think that this is just the better talent. Puritic Bile is of course the talent that we are seeing on the side of Stitches on level 10, as you can see. And once again, down to the bot lane here, in the mid lane I want to say, we have Ace, Frets and Kesel rotating. A good experience lead for Navi. They've been playing a solid game. We've been talking a lot about the combos here, we've been talking a lot about like the rotations, especially Fnatic very aggressive in the early game, and they're still trying to use that with Arthas moving in and doing his damage. But in this case I have to give some credit to Navi. They are playing an incredible game. They get the second Web Weaver descending right now, the second wave moves in. Level 13 is of course going to help Fnatic quite a bit, with Lowell getting the extra heal for his team in those fights, and that can really add up over time if he can stay in the game and is not focused down. But Freds, Lowell and the rest of them, they have still 57 of the gems that they could turn in, but first of all they have to deal with Web Weavers. And this is not necessarily going to be easy, because the next level is going to give another talent to Navi, and that is going to be extremely important. So right now, once again, we're having everybody moving in here, and initiation is everything. Lowell with the face melt, pushing everybody away here. But yeah, Splendor, of course, on the 13 is going to get his Frost Shot. And I'm really liking this build. I mean, like, I experiment a lot with the level 4 talent as well. And I have to say that Arsenal sometimes is quite nice, but you don't always miss it. It depends a lot on the map, I feel. In this case, I'm kind of liking it. Walls are getting destroyed so that they have another potential hook available on Shrimpy. And is he going for it? Not just now. ETC jumps into the back line. Here comes Cindergosa. Whoopi is dead before the fight even starts. And they're going straight for it. Fnatic is saying we are taking them on before they have the 13 talent. But there it is. 13 talent is on the board. The kill against Sylvanas. Frets is low and is not taken down. Cecilium can't close the gap. He went for the Frost Shot there. Lowell and Frets are extremely low here, and even though the fight started well for Fnatic with a kill against Falstad, they are losing their fort here, and they are of course now more than a level behind, 1.5 levels. Having Ice Block on Brightwing, and in this case it is Giant Killer for Falstad with the Burning Rage on Nubarak, and Relentless for Stitches. Once again, Fnatic in a bit of trouble here. They're trying to dash in. Breeze just barely gets away. A good hinterland blast, getting Lowell very low on HP. Kesel was about to move in once again, but now this wall is going to be breached. Both of the towers are being attacked here. Another quick slam by Shrimpy is also doing the damage against the wave here. Very well done here. And yeah, when you look at the numbers here, that is quite significant. I mean, like, just look what we're currently seeing in terms of, like, hero damage. Arthas, by the way, with 10,000, which isn't too bad. We have Sylvanas, of course, taking the top spot here for the team. But then on the other end of the map, we're having Vala doing the same amount of damage. And we're having someone like Falstad with significantly 18,000, 16,000 on the beetle alone. So regarding the damage here, Navi is doing a great job. Once again, the overlay that you see here, Ali had to adjust the overlay a bit. It was more of an emergency update since the current patch screwed with the user interface completely. So this is, of course, going to change. The way that it is being displayed right now is going to change in the future. Big shout out to Ali once again, putting into extra work here. And Lowell actually pausing the game as everybody drops. Wow! No clue what happened there. But they paused the game, and then a second later, everybody drops from the game. That's not good, but apparently was something that they saw coming. Level 13 is now on the board, and let us go over those talents. Shrimpy is just like, what the hell is going on here? And I have no idea, but that he paused the game indicates already that something was apparently, they saw something coming. And Ace is back. I'm very curious for that explanation. So Rega has left the game, is back, so whatever went on there, I mean, maybe like their team house in Poland just got raided by a bunch of thieves. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, this is very interesting. But let's go over the talents real quick. 13, we have a double spell shield. Arthas, of course, needs it since he didn't go for the Army of the Dead, so a bit of sustain is not bad for him at all. He did not take Rune Tap on level 7. I want to highlight that again, because it's a lot of self-sustain that he gets with it, and he did not get it. So apparently there was a desync problem that they had. Okay, I'm not quite sure how exactly that happens, but as long as they can fix it, I guess it's going to be alright. Feral Lunge together with a Feral Heart is being taken on the side of Ace of Spades on 13, and we're having now Sprint on Jaina, not improved Ice Block. A very, very big thing to point out here, that we don't see the Ice Block on the board right now in this case. We are also seeing the Groupies talent. This is one of the talents where ETC really gets most of his heal that I've been talking about earlier. And yeah, at this point, apparently they are still trying to fix that. Shrimpy is also asking, like, what is that? What are you talking about? But whatever it is, apparently they're able to fix it, so that's alright. And I'm not quite sure if that's a deed. They are back, aren't they? Like, I think they all came back except for Lowell. And yeah, we'll see. But I mean, right now we've been talking about that quite a bit. Look at the situation in the game besides that. We have 70 gems right now for Team Fnatic. We have 0 for the opponent's team. They just turned in everything that they have, and we have 3 players now rotating towards the right side. But this camp is already nearly taken out, and with all 4 heroes here, they should be able to take that. Up to the top, ETC. Cooldown for stage dive is ready, as you can see, so they can jump in if need be. And we are not seeing the level 16 talent just yet, so that should be alright. So at this point, we're having down here already the situation with the creep waves being pushed back against Fnatic. Fnatic has lost a lot of momentum coming from the early game. 4 kills against 5. If you look at that, it's not really that big of a difference. But we have 3 forts against 6. So NaVi has done an incredible job controlling the game. And once again, especially here, the scouting drone comes into play for all of this. Lowell coming back in the game, and I guess that means that we are also going to restart that immediately. So we're going to go straight into that. Keep in mind that if Fnatic actually loses that team fight and they lose those gems, they're in a very awkward spot. If they take a win now with even talents against their opponent, they can just move straight into the middle of the map. They can start to turn in, get those web weavers, and with that momentum they would be able to at least kill 1, maybe 2 forts here. They have already both of those towers down. At the top lane they should have a problem at all killing the towers themselves. So yeah, looks like Fnatic is gonna get ready here. Lowell has everything restored, and I think he was the last one to drop out. Yep, everybody else is in the game, so I guess we're gonna restart. Gave NaVi, of course, an opportunity to talk about what they're gonna do next. Shouldn't underestimate that situation. So yeah, looks like everything is looking fine so far. Let me double check. Yep, Lowell at the top lane is looking good. Everybody else is ready, so I guess we're gonna start this up in just a second. The Groupies talent here is important, and that is one of the things where ETC can really start to help with the heals. It's late, it's at 13, but it is actually quite significant. And once again, the build, in case that you missed it, we are starting off with Rolling Like a Stone here on level 1 for him for the power slide, and the double neck guitar on level 4. So it's really the power slide talents that have been taken here to help ETC out with that. Syndragosa, I mean, Syndragosa alone is already, like, if you have the opportunity to go into an executioner talent, which we don't really see here, you would take it with the builds like this. So for Sergeant Hammer would, for example, be also a very interesting hero for such a situation. Not quite sure what they're exactly waiting for. It looks like everybody is here. And yeah, Ace is already pointing that out. They are ready, and I guess NaVi is ready as well, unless one of them went for a smoke here, and I hope that's not the case. Okay, there we go. And yeah, we're going back into the game. I'm really glad that we were able to use that. And yeah, there we go. Watching Khaldor stream for positioning, Kappa. Okay, so here we go already. There is, of course, a delay on the stream, so don't worry about that, guys. Okay, so we have the camp taken, and so far just normal rotation to the bot lane. No fight forced. Wooby, they were trying to catch him, but he was already flying away. And I really like the way that they are using the fly-in right now, that the Wooby is always just jumping out of these positions. Nice hook attempt there by Shrimpy. Really well done, but in this case he only gets a creep, so unfortunately for him that wasn't really a full hit. The water elemental that was trying to lock Wooby down on false stat is now just like out, and therefore one of the heroic abilities is down, and that's of course a bit of an unfortunate situation for Fnatic. The problem for them really is that they are starting to lose experience again against their opponent. With the 16 talent, that would have been amazing for NaVi to just like get another edge over their opponents in team fights, and now they have that, so they are going to be willing to fight here. And Fnatic won't be able to turn in until they have 16 on their own. We have Criterize taken as an overdrive, which is of course going to make that burst damage on the side of Falstad even stronger. We're seeing one blood for blood. Vala could go for potential second one. And we're also having a fishing hook now taken. Vala doesn't really have too many options on level 16 that are worth noting. So in this case, blood for blood seems to be like the obvious one. I would be very surprised to not see blood for blood. They go for execution. I would have understood the execution on the side of Fnatic. It's not that it's horrible on the side of Navi, but in this case, blood for blood is always kind of nice. I guess they just think that with the Vampiric Assault at level 4, they don't really need that lockdown. Oh, here comes the attempt to move in. 4 heroes are ready. Shrimpy is leading the charge. ETC is jumping in hard. The silence against good old Anubarak. Ah, Syndragos are coming in, but the kill against Sylvanas is so fast, and that 16 talent is really coming through for Navi. A kill against Lowell and Kaysil, and Fnatic is completely getting wrecked here. They are running into the wrong direction, and a great hook by Shrimpy once again. His hooks are insane. Ace of Spades is doing what he can, but this is a team kill, and that was extremely well done by Navi. These boys are doing work right now. That 16 talent, of course, giving them such a huge edge, and they were trying to run with that, exploiting the advantage with the window that they had, and they used it very well here. Navi going in and for potential kill even. I mean, Sylvanas is back, and ETC will be back in a few seconds too, so I highly doubt that they're trying to go for the core here, but they definitely are going to take down I was about to say the keep, but apparently they're trying to go for the second one, not quite. Casually just walking through 4 towers and a keep. I mean, yeah, why not? The Beatles attacking still one of the towers here, and Fnatic is in trouble. I mean, you see what's happening here. Fnatic just doesn't have that extra talent. This incredible advantage in experience that we're seeing for Navi is really helping them. It's bringing them so far ahead of anything else. So right now, this is pretty damn awesome for them. Once again, they're starting to move up to the boss, and I mean, what can Fnatic do? Fnatic knows, I think, that they're going for boss. Where else would they be? But without the 16 talents and the 3-level disadvantage, there's nothing you can do. You cannot contest this. There's no way. Web Weavers are going up against you. This is the perfect timing. If you manage to get the boss together with the Web Weavers at exactly the same time, then you have so much pushing power on that top lane that it's nearly impossible to really do anything about that. And that's exactly what, of course, Navi was trying to build up here, and Fnatic was trying to prevent. But they can't do it. Shrimpy at the bot lane. Is he gonna look for another hook? He's very patient with his hooks, by the way. Good stun and body block. Rhaegar down. And the attempt to hook, but yeah, those heroes were already far out of reach. At the top lane, we're still having the boss together with Wooby and Splendor starting to do dirty things to that keep. ETC jumps in, but they weren't even moving back. They were just straight moving in, and now Lowell is very much alone. He is very alone. There's nothing like he can do to run away, but he's just barely reaching the Nexus anyways to heal up again. The problem, of course, is that even with the 16 talent here, there's no way for them to come back. Their healer is already down, and this, with the help of the boss, is going to be Navi taking game number 1 against Fnatic. A very nice first map between the two teams here. Congratulations to Navi, well played, and we're going to jump straight into game number 2 here at the grand final.
Navi takes the first map and has the lead in the best of 3. They only need to win one more map to decide the best of 3 series in their favor, but the next map is Blackheart's Bay. And traditionally that's one of the maps where Fnatic is extremely strong, also because they're very good at playing PvE, not even engaging into battles with their composition, but just trying to get the doubloons and win through the objective. The composition that Fnatic is running, on the other hand, on this map is really already showing that they want a team fight. They have a Tyrael here for initiation, and they also have a Kerrigan, which is of course extremely powerful when it comes down to chasing down opponents, jumping in, trying to get those stuns off, and with threats they have one of the best Kerrigan players in Europe. Navi, on the other hand, they showed on the last map already that they're extremely strong and definitely a force to be reckoned with. So right now they are trying to get the 2-0 victory here in the best of 3 series. They have a Nubarak in their lineup here. We're once again going back to that double tank meta, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see Navi go up against Fnatic here again. So guys, Blackheart's Bay, map number 2 between Navi and Fnatic.
Alrighty boys, game number 2 here in the final, the best of 3 series. Fnatic down 1 map already. We're currently seeing here on Blackheart's Bay to the right side of the map the team in red. It is Fnatic, and well, right now we're having actually those, yeah, for some reason apparently the way that Blizzard determines which team starts to the left and the right side got changed. But as it happens, to the right side, Brightwing played by Ace of Spades for Fnatic. We're having Sylvanas played by Kaysil, Kerrigan played by Freds, Tyrael played by Lowell, and Jaina played by Shinobu. At the same time, we're having ETC played by Shrimpy, Vala by Celio, Manuborak by Breeze, Uther by Splendor, and Falstad by Wubby. And of course, as I say that, I realize that the overlay was actually right in the first time and that we have to change that back. So something with those colors is really odd. So Blizzard, whatever you did, undo that immediately because it is weird. But yeah, that's of course just the day after the patch. We're going to figure that out without a problem whatsoever. For now, what we're seeing here is control at least up at the mid lane for them right here. Yeah, in this case, we're currently looking up to the top. Oh, Fred's really trying to go for Wubby here. He loves his Kerrigan, and that's what he's going to use here. So we're going to see also a few of additional builds, of course. We're having once again a Nuborak taken on the side of Navi, and they went into the extended spikes here on the hero, as you can see there. We're having in the mid lane right now the first chest happening, and with that, we're already seeing ETC jumping in. Shrimpy is going for it, and Freds needs to be careful. He's trying to get away here, and he will be able to move back. Celio firing another multi-shot, but not getting the kill yet. And oh my god, like they really want those coins, don't they? Good lockdown, very good combo by Freds, and they are getting the first kill against Falstad, but they're losing Brightwing. The counter kill against Vala though, and Freds with another kill. Oh no, what? Shrimpy is actually getting away. Oh, and Uther dying then after all. 3 kills against 1 right now. That's a very cool start into the game there. Once again, we have the rolling like a stone taken on the side of ETC, so even Navi is using the, at least so far, the same opening into the build that we are seeing from, or we saw in the last game from Fnatic. Freds with really good moves here in that last battle already. He was very low on Kerrigan and still jumped in and got his kill off. At the same time, we're having now at the bot lane still Ace of Spades going up against Breeze. In terms of the talents on level 1, no big surprises here just yet. We're having Vala again with a multi-shot build, at least the opening into multi-shot build. I'm curious to see if the level 4 talent is going to be an adjustment from Celium again, or if he goes into Arsenal on this map here. Oh my god! Triple Envenom? Holy crap, like that is gonna hurt. Sylvanas, Kerrigan, and Jaina all go for Envenom. We have a triple Envenom this early in the game. This is like a lot of power that they have with that. I am very curious to see how they are going to use that. If there's some kind of like follow-up that we have with this, but this is a lot of pressure here early on. Double neck guitar, the follow-up talent for the power slide on ETC, and again a vampiric assault on Vala. So pretty cool talent there to take. We're having also the Legion of Beetles, protective shield and gathering power taken. Falstad is going into pretty much the same build that he went for ages right now. We saw a few adjustments every now and then from especially the Russian players, but besides that, most people still go for the exact same build, trying to go for the gathering power on level 4 and then just get the additional boomerang talent on 7 to get all that burst damage into play. Right now to the bottom of the lane, we're having Ace of Spades and a Breeze going up against each other here. So let's see how exactly this is gonna go for them. Right now we're having still experience exactly the same for both of the teams. Up here to the top, it's an early Bruiser camp that they took, and with that early Bruiser camp they should be able to get quite a lot of damage up to the top lane, or at least pressure. But of course Sylvanas with a Shadow Dagger is in a position where she can make sure that it's not going to be too much. Nice interrupt attempt against the mid lane, but already most of the coins turned in, and Fnatic has been doing very well with this. For a long time this was like the map for Fnatic, especially since they are very good at playing the PvE game and just dodging opponents, roaming through the map, getting their coins and then turning them in. But then for quite some time other teams really started to just get the wins in against them over here. So they kind of lost that dominance on the map to a certain extent. But right now they are off to a good start already. They have the level 7 talent fast and they are starting to use it. Splendor is about to go down there, but Freds is not going to make it either. And Shinobu is just too low to really assist Lowell in this case. We're having now on Tyrael battle momentum taken after the Regeneration Master on level 1 and the Amplified Healing on level 4. And as you can see, we are seeing adaptation on Karrigan. Pretty cool if you want to be mobile, if you want to jump to an opponent, if that really helps you to get out of a fight. And as Karrigan in this case is still a bit on the squishy side, this is definitely something that is going to help you here. On level 7 we're having just keep rocking, so we're having actually a bit of a different build here for ETC if you think about what was chosen by Lowell in the last game when he was trying to go for the extra heal that he got. But in this case it is actually just reduce on all of the slows, all of the disables that you can just push against him, and that's of course pretty cool when you're running against a team that is moving with just so many heroes that have some kind of crowd control skill against you. Nice rotation to the bot lane. Shinobu on Jaina is trying to get away. Good Blizzard, but he's dead already. Can they get a kill though? A lot of Venom in play, but there are just too many heroes against them. And KSL alone doesn't really want to move in against this, but yeah, they had a lot of heroes down in the red, but of course in this case they still got the kills in. 3 kills against 4, a slight surplus here on the side of Fnatic. They're doing well, and they are also, they have a lot of coins. The problem of course is that with that turn in here, this is going to do quite a lot of damage against the mid lane, and we do not have a mule. This fort is not gonna fall against this bombardment, but still it's going to fall later on. Again on level 7 here we're having the bed of barbs on the side of Nubarak, so not the full beetle build that we've seen from Fnatic earlier on in the tournament today. We're having also now Cleanse taken on Uther, and as you can see, the Searing attack. Breeze trying to move back here, but nice move by Karrigan. Well done by Freds, really well done here. Waiting with that for a long time, making sure that they really got the kill even after Anubarak used his Burrow Strike. That was an important one. Maelstrom, of course, is the talent of choice on level 10 for Karrigan with Blink Heal, Wailing Arrow, Judgment and Water Elemental chosen for the rest of the team. But level 10 also hitting for Navi at around the same time. They are in the lead in the best of 3 series. Navi is ahead. They only need one more map win if they want to take the tournament here. We're having Reign of Vengeance taken together with the stage dive. At the same time, it's also not Divine Storm, but Divine Shield actually. Divine Storm would have worked, of course, also quite well. And Anubarak is waiting a bit longer. Apparently, he's not quite sure yet if he wants to go into the Web Blast. Traditionally, you would rather go into the Locust Swarm, but Web Blast, of course, could help them to lock somebody like Brightwing out in the fight itself, or maybe just the damage dealer for a few seconds. Karrigan alone is another great hero. If you want to take her out for a second or two, then you can do that. Already the move in, but nice dodge here, really well done. That didn't really work out for Fnatic the way that they were thinking it would, and now suddenly Shrimpy is maybe in trouble. Oh my god, great Hinterland Blast, here comes the Web Blast! KSL is about to die, but ETC is dead as well, and KSL actually getting away, at least for now. Karrigan is already gone, and Brightwing is still trying to help Sylvanas out there. Vala went down to the right side, and now it's suddenly also time for Uther to die, as the rest of the Fnatic team is still moving in. KSL is still alive! Wooby didn't get the kill. Amazing plays from Ace of Spades and KSL, both of them keeping their heroes alive there, and at the end of the fight it's a 1 versus 4 trade. A great trade for Fnatic, really nice play that we're seeing from the team here. Lowell with 11 coins right now is just moving through the map, but that save was insane. KSL was just 1 hit away from dying, moves into the fog, dodges the next hammer, and is also able, thanks to Brightwing, to get back to hit points again, keep himself alive, and they get the counter kill against Falstad. 9 kills against 4 now, very well played here, and they are going through the map again, getting their turn in, and there comes the next Ghost Ship Barrage, and this time not only the mid is going to fall, but also some severe damage is going to be dished out to the top lane. At the bottom, once again, Freds trying to jump in against Shrimpy, and they don't get the combo off. Nice jukes by Shrimpy. I'm really liking his play. Like, this kid is extremely strong, very, very patient, he doesn't panic, and I think that's worth a whole lot. So that was very well played by him here. We're having the rest of the Fnatic team now at the bot lane going for the Bruiser camp, as Lowell is holding the experience at the lane. The 13 talent, of course, for them is ready with a face shield on Brightwing. We're having the evasive fire for Sylvanas in this case, not going for the spell shield, doesn't really have to. Then Karrigan and Jaina with a sprint, the ladies going for the shoes here, and we're having, of course, also imposing will on Tyrell, which helps them just to keep those alive a bit longer. Level 13, the groupie's talent, as expected. A double spell shield here for Nuborak and also Uther. And Vala, with that hybrid build, going for the frost shot. Thanks to the composite arrow on level 1, it's a great talent still to take and gives you a lot of control in those fights. As we see Crippling Hammer taken on the side of Falstad. Oftentimes it's Giant Killer that we'll see here. In this case, it's really the full focus on the hammer rank build. So right now, once again, the push at the bot lane. It's a counter push to the top, by the way, that Navi is currently relying upon. And they take the entire wall. Oh, nice interrupt against Breeze. That actually allows Shinobu and the boys to do a lot of damage down here. And with the Dark Arrow on Sylvanas, they can easily breach this entire wall. And that's the wall to a keep. So very well done here. They easily move back. And that's, of course, a horrible timing for the chest to spawn on the map for Navi. Because right now, there's very little that they can actually do to be there in time. But they rotate to the top, and Fnatic actually decided to go for both chests, and that might backfire. They're starting to move in right now. Oh, there comes the web blast already being used, but they, nice, take that web down right away. So now it's a 5 versus 4 up here. ETC is not with the team, but he can jump in. Nice Rain of Vengeance. Good Hinterland Blast, but is it good enough? Doesn't look like it. And Venom everywhere. Great Divine Shield against Celium, helping him here to stay alive. And now suddenly it's Lowell and the rest of the team that moves in. And Carrigan again with all these grabs. These combos are crazy. Freds is playing a great game here. Silence against Vala, and she moves back once again. Shinobu on his carpet is trying to catch up with the rest of the opponents, but Splendor is about to move away here, and this time, is Jaina actually gonna get another kill against Uther? No way. Moves in, gets the root in thanks to the Numbing Blast taken level 16. We were having a triple blood for blood as well on the team now, together with a Criterize, of course, on level 16, taken by Brightwing. But yeah, Fnatic is doing great in this game. They are very, very close to tie the series up, but they are not there just yet. And a game can snowball out of your control pretty fast if you just lose one of the important fights, and that's of course what Navi is currently hoping for. That they're able to do some damage, especially against the structures here, with Ruby at the top lane, gathering extra experience. And it's just like camps taken everywhere on the map, and there's like no other map where camps are so incredibly important as Blackheart's Bay, because you get those extra coins and then you can turn those in as well. That's why we're seeing Whoopi and Navi currently trying to control the top lane, trying to go for all of these right now, getting the coins in. But here comes Lowell, here comes Freds, they're trying to go for it again, and here comes the Web Blast. Web Blast, they need to take it down, they're trying to, but Judgment being used, and the Beetle is dead again, squished under the heel of Kerrigan. And of course, Tyrael, they get the second kill against Vala, and now they're just simply aiming for boss. Sometimes it's just not worth chasing a target, and that's exactly why they didn't try to take Shrimpy down here. They were saying, boys, we are already up at the top, we have 2 kills, we can go for boss right now. Wasting time taking down ETC doesn't help us, even if we kill them. The longer he delays us, the better for them. Just take the boss, get that done. It's going to push the top lane for us, and we can aim for another turn in. And they are close. They are at 17 coins, so they can get a free turn in if they want it. Because if Navi doesn't react to what's happening, then they can't do anything about that. Here comes Whoopi with 7 coins turned in, and I can tell you one thing, it's quite a relief when you have this many coins and you're finally able to turn them in, because you always feel quite uneasy, especially on a squishy assassin, when you have too many coins and you're like, oh my god, if my opponent takes me down right now, I'm in trouble. But yeah, the boss is gonna move in, they get another camp now as well, and as I said, they have 19 coins after this. They could turn in, they could just simply move into the mid lane and turn in, and they're trying to fight with the boss. They're trying to get that advantage. They're all here already, and they're jumping in. Francis going straight for it. He gets 2, and the lockdown against ETC. He's dead before the fight even starts. The Rain of Vengeance is pushing them back for now, but they got a kill already, and together with the camp, they're simply going straight for those towers, taking 1, taking 2, and every structure you eliminate on Blackheart's Bay is extremely valuable, since you don't waste those cannon shots against them. Once again, Freds with the attempt to move in, but the Divine Shield is there for Nuborak, so they start to move back once again. The Water Elemental is just not enough to lock them down, and Kerrigan also, of course, using the Maelstrom in that situation, needs to rotate back. Another 8 seconds on ETC, and the movements into the mid lane. That's where they're starting to turn in again. Double blood for blood already. ETC hasn't chosen his talent yet. Benediction and Overdrive, the talents that we're seeing for the rest of the team, but this turn-in is gonna seal the fate of the keep in the mid lane, and then also gonna attack the one up at the top. So Fnatic is doing quite well here. We have them on 15 kills against 4. Oh, and Shrimpy pausing the game this time. The last time we had a big pause for Fnatic, but apparently there's a bit of a problem for NaVi right now. At least that's what it looks like. Gives us an opportunity to look a bit more, or a bit closer at the numbers. The healing on ETC not really coming too much into play just yet. He was locked down in most of the fights that we saw just recently, so didn't really get the chance to use that level 13 talent for groupies. If you're looking at the damage, especially at the hero damage, 20,000 on Carrigan, that is pretty remarkable. That's very well played here. Of course, on the side of Sylvanas, we have still 83,000 siege damage. Looking at the same time now onto the hero damage that we're seeing for NaVi, 29,000, 27,000, really good numbers. It's just not really... They couldn't force the kills, that's the problem. They have better numbers in hero damage, but they never could really focus on one single target the way that Fnatic did. It's all that crowd control that they're running here. Even against the Divine Shield, Carrigan was just getting incredible stuns off, and that was worth a whole lot. In terms of kills, you can see 3 deaths. Like, there's nobody who really got picked off the entire time, but still, it was very, very well played here by Fnatic, at least so far. So they have another turn-in right now. And with the turn-in, they're going to take on the keep in the mid lane. This one is going to fall for sure, and after this one is gone, the bombardment is going to continue up at the top here, where it's at least going to take down the tower and maybe a bit more than that. Falstad asking ready, and then immediately they resume. I don't think that Fnatic minds, but yeah, we would have seen a counter pause if there would have been a problem. But yeah, in this case right now, everything is taken. Initiation, ETC with a great stage dive. Very well done here, but once again, they are going straight for the bird. All that venom that we saw there, but Frets is super low. He's just barely getting away with his sprint. Gets stunned again, locked down with a quick multi-shot, and this time Fnatic is in trouble. Oh my god, Whoopi! He has the hate against Carrigan right there. Gets a great hinterland blast off and eliminates her, and they're going for Lowell now to get the kill against Tyrell too. He's trying to at least eliminate one of them, but he can't! And here comes at least ETC and Nubarak, both of them dead, and they're going for Celium. Fnatic isn't done. Oh my god, they get another one. Can they get Whoopi on the other hand? Kaysil is starting to move in. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it, he just simply doesn't see it. But Fnatic wins it. The 20 talent is now ready for them. We're having them with a double blink. And this was looking so good at the beginning for NaVi. But NaVi still loses 3 heroes. It's a bad trade for them with a 2 versus 3. And now they are lacking the 20 talent. They're 2 levels behind. They already lost the keep in the mid lane. The one up at the top is nearly down. And of course, with 7 coins under their belt, Fnatic is looking at a very strong position. Splendor! Well, like, he wants to go for it. ETC is back and goes in with a stage dive. Very nice moves here from NaVi, trying to get a couple of kills in. Ace is already jumping back. Kaysil is moving away too. The chest just spawning right next to him, and he's like, screw that. Blink heals away to the wave. And of course, they're going to give up the one here at the bot lane. Up to the top, on the other hand, Shinobu, Frets, and Kaysil are going straight for the chests now. The advantage that Fnatic has is incredible now. Triple blink, storm shield, and also the hardened shield. It's not like the 20 gave them a whole lot of damage or gave them a whole lot of utility, but what it gave them is survivability, the opportunity to just blink away from the opponent. Every time you get initiated upon, you have the opportunity to escape, and that's of course especially great for Carrigan, who's now extremely mobile with the adaptation, with sprint, with also the bolt of the storm. Those talents are going to help her a lot. 16 coins, that's what we're seeing for Fnatic. They are still more than a level ahead, but the important part is that NaVi is going to take an entire level until they hit level 20 and therefore their last talents. And they will have great talents. They will have absolutely amazing talents on level 20. Like, their 20 is very, very strong. So Fnatic, of course, is going to try to utilize this window that they have as much as they can. And that means get another turn in, try to make that happen. If they do, it means the end for the keep at the top lane, and then the rest of the cannonballs are starting to work on the keep at the bottom lane. And if you are suddenly able to take down all of the 3 keeps, then you always know that you have great pushing power, great presence and pressure on all of the lanes, and that's what you're really aiming for. That could, for example, allow you to get another boss, which will be ready in 16 additional seconds. So both of the teams are going to look forward to take this one. Here comes the lockdown. Uh-oh. Falstad is missing. He can fly in and he has to. Good stun though against Lowell and Kaysil. But Judgment. Wow, Lowell actually going really deep here. A bit too deep actually. well, buddy, you're not an Illidan this time. So that judgment was questionable at best. A bit too far out there, but they did not really lose anything because of it. As mentioned before, Keep at the top lane is now eliminated, and cannon shots. Are they going to take that down? That could actually happen. 1, 2, yeah, they're going to win. They're going to, like, no, not win in the case that they're winning the game, but they're going to take the last keep. Great for them. I actually thought they would be able to make that happen. The shield, of course, going to be scratched a bit as well. Up to the top lane. Here comes the Hinterland Blast. This time it's not good enough. Whoopi extremely low, but still alive. Lowell is trying to escape here on his Tyrael. He has the Hardened Shield and he's using it. And this is just a 20 versus 20 with the Mosh Pit now also ready. The level 20 telling the death metal. And this is one of the reasons why you should not focus ETC right now. But of course, then he's able to get the rest in. And there it is. The Ghost with the Mosh Pit, as you can see immediately. And this is the end of Jaina. She gets stunned in the Mosh Pit. But what a triple stun from Kerrigan! Oh my god, Freds, have my babies, please. I mean, it was great. It was exactly what they needed here. Such a close fight, and he gets a triple stun off. Kaysel jumps in, super aggressive. Celium doesn't care at all, turns around and drops him. But Freds is there to clean house. He jumps from one target to another, moves out of the fight once again. I wouldn't be surprised to see him turn around again. But nope, they are just like leaving it for now. Level 21 versus 22. Freds with those stuns, absolutely insane. But that death metal talent that we just saw, that was quite funny. You find yourself in a bit of a predicament as your opponent, because like ETC has that talent and it's actually kind of funny and it really can do work. We saw Jaina die because of it. But at the same time, well, you don't really want to target ETC because of that, because you know what's going to happen. If you don't do it though, he's just going to power slide through you 6 days to Sunday, and you don't want that to happen either. So it's a pretty interesting situation. That new talent is definitely a fun one. At the same time, we're having now Lowell going straight for those camps to the left side. You can really tell that Fnatic is trying to play one of their strengths on this map, and this is just playing the objective. Playing PvE, trying to go for that. So we're using that now here immediately with like 8 coins already on the board, but they need 20. They need 20, and that is a lot. Yeah, but they're going to try. But for Navi, there's of course the chance that they are coming back on this. It's level 21 versus 21. The stat advantage that Fnatic gains with the 22 level is not going to be too much. But this is going to be This could turn. Let's just put it like that. This could turn right now. Because the 20 talent, as I said before, is extremely strong in those fights themselves for Navi. They have a Storm Shield, they are having the Death Metal, which is strong, they have a Hardened Shield, the Hinterland Blast is now called the Call of the Wild Hammer. And with that, they get extra damage in, so this is not easy at all. This is not like a free win anymore. All of the keeps are gone, and that's great. That's actually very, very good for Fnatic, because they need that. Since they can now just like try and move around their opponents, they create, for example, pressure at the bot lane that forces Navi down to the bot lane, and Fnatic just simply jumps to the top and tries to take the boss. That's the idea behind it. Create a lane that pushes in hard with an additional camp and force your opponent down, and then you go for the boss. And the boss is going to hurt. And I mean, it's not only the boss, it's that Siege Giant camp that is already working on the shield. This is like the checkmate situation that you basically put your opponent in. There's no good move left to Navi. The team fights, this is something that they want to fight because they know they have a real chance of winning those now. But they can't really do it because Fnatic has really exploited that advantage that they got early on to take down the keeps, and is now creating these loss-loss situations for Navi where they can't do anything. I mean, think about it. We have already a few points lost on the core, and with 16 coins, there's just nothing that Navi can do right now. The boss is moving towards the core, and Fnatic is simply turning in. They're saying like, alright, if you don't defend, then the boss is going to do significant damage to your core. If you defend, we can simply turn in the mid lane. We're going to get the chests now, and with those chests, they can get a full turn in, and if they get the full turn in, that's game. And that's why Navi is currently in the mid lane, and only ETC is defending, because they don't have another choice. It's a really shitty situation for them. It's one of those loss-loss situations in here. Look at that boss going completely ham. Fnatic only has to stall time, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They checkmated Navi, and as long as they don't make a massive mistake and huge commitment right now, they're going to win it easily. The boss is just not going to be taken out by ETC. That's not going to happen. 13 points. He jumped in already. Schwimpy is going for a GG. Well played. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is it. The boss takes it, and therefore a tie in the series in the grand final. And we're going to go into map number 3 between Navi and Fnatic.
Yeah, fun game that we saw there on Blackhearts Bay. And we have a tie in the series. Fnatic winning Blackhearts, and therefore we see a third map. Pretty cool start into the patch, and I have to say that the games so far were actually really fun to watch. A lot of changes, of course, that we saw not only in the meta but also in the way that the builds on the heroes work. And now we're going into map number 3, Cursed Hollow. And this is going to be an interesting one just because we once again have Illidan in play. Illidan is a hero that has, of course, a lot of counters right now. Brightwing is really good against him. Sylvanas is very strong against Illidan as well, and with the changes to Muradin, you will oftentimes also see Muradin as a counter pick to Illidan himself. In this game, that's not the case now, but we're going to jump straight into the last and the decisive map between the two teams. Who's going to take the best of 3 series? Who's going to win the grand final? Is Navi going to continue their just reign of domination in Europe? Well, probably disregarding Team Liquid, I have to say, but Navi is still together with Team Liquid and Gamers 2 one of the top 3 teams. Or will Fnatic start to make their way back to the top? They finally sorted everything out at the team house in Poland, and with that, of course, they finally get the practice in that they've been waiting for so long, and they are going to try and make this their patch, trying, of course, to reign supreme here from the beginning with the practice that they now have thanks to the offline environment in Poland. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take the third map here, or who will win the best of 3 series. Guys, game number 3 coming up on Cursed Hollow between Navi and Fnatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready with the last game of the day. This is it. This is Fnatic versus Navi. The third game, and the blue team to the left side of the screen. It is, of course, in this case, it's actually Navi, with Arthur's being played by Breeze. We have Vala played by Celium. Booby is playing Sylvanas. Yes, Stitches played by Shrimpy, and currently we're having Splendor playing Brightwing. To the right side of the map, the red team. Yeah, the colors are a little bit confusing, I agree, but it is to the right side in red. We have Ace of Spades on Rhaegar, Kai'Sa on Jaina, Lol on Illidan, Freds on ETC, and currently Shinobu on Anubarak. This is the third game. This is the last game, the decisive game, the best of 3 series, the grand final. Whoever takes it here is going to win the match. And we had a very interesting reason why we saw Rhaegar as the last pick over Uther, which I personally expected, since I thought with all the counter Illidan picks that we saw for Team Navi, Uther would be a great choice thanks to his Divine Shield and of course the great heal and cleanse. But Ace just said like he doesn't really feel like playing Uther. He says like the hero is kind of boring to him. He doesn't really want to play him. He wants to play something where he feels comfortable with, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I mean, from an objective perspective, Uther might have been the better pick here, but if the player himself just doesn't feel it, then oftentimes like one of those gut decisions can be the one thing that really starts to put you ahead of the crowd. So in this case, we're going to find out if that's going to happen here. Currently, we're having a double tank lineup once again on the side of both teams. We're having Nubarak together with not only Illidan, but most of all, of course, ETC on the side of Fnatic, and then we're having Arthur's Stitches for their opponents. Cursed Hollow is the last map, and in terms of talents, once again, rolling like a stone on ETC taken, as we are seeing Nubarak now being played by Fnatic, and therefore on the side of Shinobu, it is the Beetle build again that we've been seeing a couple of times already from Fnatic, not going for those spike increased ranges that we had before that. In regards to the talents that we're seeing for the opponent's team, Shrimpy in this case now goes for Chew Your Food, which is an interesting adjustment considering that they were playing with Stitches already on the first map, which was Tomb of the Spider Queen, and he decided to go into Slam on level 1 just to have some additional damage there, since he thought that with a second tank he didn't really need to go for anything else. Ace of Spades together with the rest of the team, trying of course to get especially the top lane under control, where we're having the girls do damage. Vala and Sylvanas, they're getting along pretty well, those two, and they are going for it already. Once again, by the way, I'm realizing that the overlay here is a bit wrong. I have to admit that it's actually quite annoying. Something that Blizzard changed in the patch is now screwing with the sites that the teams are starting on, which is very frustrating as a streamer, but yeah, we fixed that in time once again, so 2 minutes in. So my apologies for the confusion maybe. Oh, good kill against Shrimpy here. Yeah, my apology for the confusion throughout the series at the beginning of the match, if you paid attention of course to the names of the players and you know exactly which teams belongs to which side, but yeah, Blizzard changed something there, and I will have to go through a couple of custom games to really find out how exactly that is currently impacting the way that the teams spawn to the left and the right. It's a bit annoying, it's a bit frustrating, but that patch has, of course, changed quite a few things. But it's not going to be a big setback, but as I said, the patch is pretty new. The user interface that we have here is also more of an emergency user interface that Ali put together, thankfully, so that we could cast this with the talents displayed. Good kill here against Nubarak, by the way. A 1-1 right now when it comes to the kills, and it looks like the first tribute is going to end up in the hands of Team Navi. We're having both of the teams now on level 6, so the 4 talents are there. Destruction after block taken. Again, Vampiric Assault as the talent here. I'm really liking those level 4 adjustments on Vala. I don't really think that Arsenal was like the best choice. I'm really not a big fan of it. When it started to become extremely popular, I toyed around with it a bit and basically just ran it because everybody else did. Peer pressure, yeah. I'm a sucker for that, but at the same time it was never really the talent where I thought, okay, it gives me that reliable damage. It was more something that was extremely good for wave clear, I feel. So teams are experimenting a bit more with different level 4 talents, and I like that. We're having now at the same time, once again, Unstable Poison taken. There's that Rune Tap that we've been missing in the first game when Arthas was played by Fnatic, so now we're having Rune Tap taken over that Frostborn talent. It's also Tenderizer again, together with a Gust of Healing. Looking also at the right side of the map where the level 7 talents are now coming into play, we're having pretty standard builds again. A full Beetle build on Shinobu's Anubarak that he uses here. And we're seeing, oh, Guitar Hero taken again. So he's going exactly for the same build that he's been utilizing in the first game. Actually, I think, was it the first? Was it the second? It was the second game. Yeah, ETC was played by Fnatic in the second game and now here in the third. But of course, they are falling a bit behind in experience. With all the structures taken down at the top lane, Navi is getting a bit ahead in that. Oh, but the nice initiation here against Splendor. Good stun! And Brightwing is trying to escape, but without the blink heal, he needs to walk and he got blocked. Very well done here. So now suddenly level 8 is on board for both of the teams here. Good kills from Fnatic. They're trying to get another one against Whoopi. Breeze is also moving in and trying. Oh, they are trying to push him away. They're trying to block Arthas. Arthas is surrounded. A Warcraft 3 surround right there. And they take him out. Job well done. Yeah. Yeah, Brightwing's attempt to interrupt that tribute didn't really work, but they have Celium for that with this composite arrow with the extended range on Vala's multi-shot. They get it once more, but in the end the tribute ends up in the hands of Fnatic regardless. Currently, as you can see here, we're having also Earth Shield taken and Feral Heart. I personally like Feral Heart a lot. It's really great to help you stay in the lane, and if you're one of the players that is set up on a solo lane, it's an amazing talent to take. Of course, the one thing that you give up for that is the additional scouting that you get. But as the talent, I really think that Feral Heart is pretty cool for that. It gives you a bit more influence on how exactly you run on the game regardless. Up to the top lane, good kill against Stitches here apparently, like with the rotation, he was not really expecting that as it seems. But yeah, the far side of course is the talent that you give up on Rhaegar. That's what I was currently talking about when Stitches came into play there. But in this case, I feel like staying on lane, getting the extra experience and having the lane sustain is something that is extremely valuable to the team. Of course, it's kind of nice when you get that extra vision, but in this case, I feel this is the right talent to take, and it's also pretty fun. Syndragosa is taken once again. This is a talent that we've seen several times right now. Army of the Dead is not really the big deal anymore that it was back in the old days. Syndragosa is pretty cool. And in this case, it will probably also result in Vala going for the Executioner talent again on level 16, since there's so much slow on Team Navi that they can really get the additional numbers out there with Vala taking that talent. We're having in regards to the hero... Oh, a nice move there. Look at that root. And just the last second, Lol jumping away. He was prepared. Uses heroic ability here. Has to sacrifice that, but at least he doesn't get taken out. Emerald Wind, by the way, has been taken on the side of Navi over Blink Heal. The reason is actually quite simple. What you're oftentimes trying to do if Illidan and or Nubarak in this case are jumping you is first of all you try to disengage with the rest of the team, and that's where Emerald Wind is great. But you could also, if Illidan goes a bit too deep, try to isolate him from the rest of them. Bring Brightwing, maybe with a quick move later on, you could potentially go into sprint and just rush between Illidan and the rest of his team. Use Emerald Wind, push him into your own team and eliminate him when he has no support. So Emerald Wind is really one of those utility heroic abilities that can do great things, especially against an Illidan player. But of course with Blink Heal you give up quite a lot of heal that you would have had instead. Lowell is still waiting there, not overextending. He knows that there's currently a trialing up against him. Oh, down here on the other hand, it's the move against Breeze. They're trying to get him, but not happening. Splendor just moves in. Fnatic was trying to get another kill, but they were so far unsuccessful. It is again a slight lead in experience for Team Navi, and they are doing very well here. Like the Bulgarians and the Swedes, they are playing a great game thus far. We have them with 1 kill only though against 4, but still ahead in experience thanks to the Sylvanas pressure. And now we are having once more Fnatic trying to claim that one particular tribute, and they have to. There's already the healing ward dropped, or the healing totem. Good kill against Sylvana. She's just too squishy. Couldn't really survive all of that burst here. So level 12 for both of the teams, rotations throughout the map. And Brightwing never really came with a team, so he was soaking more experience at the bottom lane, and he's also going for that additional fort. And if he gets that, level 13 will just be around the corner for them. Oh, an early boss here for Fnatic. I like it. Something that they apparently didn't expect here. Breeze is already trying to go for the boss at the bot lane. The problem for him is, though, that he will have to abandon that. You can't really take it alone, but yeah, they are moving straight down the map, and there is no chance that Navi... Oh my god, Fnatic is not moving in for it. Wow, Fnatic could have easily contested that, but they decided not to. They apparently were a bit afraid that the level 13 talent would hit too fast for Navi and didn't really want to fight there. So they give the boss up. I mean, it's not a loss per se. They still have boss versus boss. They take the extra tribute probably now and put the curse on. And they also have down here now the siege giants. So all in all, it's still a win for them since that tribute spawned at the perfect location. But yeah, I really expected them to go to the bot lane, but this is a much better decision. Once again, showing why these guys are the pro gamers, and yeah, I'm not, because in this case, this was definitely the better choice. It was a good call. Whoever made that call, I would have probably been way too aggressive in that situation, and they made a very good choice here. We're having no Feral Lunge, but Healing Surge taken on the side of Fnatic right now. They are trying to go for keep here. And down here, this boss is not going to get through the keep. This is not going to happen. But this will... Oh my god! Oh, Arthas! Arthas isolated. Vala and Arthas are both down now. And in this case, that keep is going to fall. Wow, Fnatic with 7 kills against 1. I mean, rotations on the map, movements against structures, great play by Navi. But when it comes to those fights, they don't really stand a chance. At least not until now. Shrimpy is getting isolated. Fnatic is carrying the momentum. They are not afraid of diving the core. They will have to back with most of their players here. Freds is gonna drop, but still, yeah, they can't finish this, but they can put at least some hit points off the core and rush away. As long as they don't lose too many heroes right now, they're gonna be fine. The core is already down to 90% in this case, and they have more than an entire level ahead. But Ruby is about to jump in, and Anubarak sacrifices himself for the greater good. Moving in, Shinobu just saying, alright guys, I'm just moving against them. They will have to slow down. They won't be able to catch more, but I have to sacrifice myself or we will all die, or at least too many of us. Right now, Lowell is currently taking it right now. We're having taking the camp. We're having him just like jumping straight for it again, and that means that they are also getting the level 16 talent, where they are rushing in for a triple blood for blood, and they're having after groupies now also the Echo Paddle being used. So Echo Paddle is still taken, and the Numbing Blast, and now Fnatic find themselves in a great spot again. They are only slightly ahead in experience though, but they took down a keep, which was the most important part. They didn't really suffer too much damage to the keep at the bot lane, where the boss of their opponents was trying to move in. And in regards to kills, they're of course in a great spot with 8 against 3. But still, that 16 talent, Cold Embrace, I like it. We don't see it all that often anymore, but it's a great talent if you want to burst somebody down. Fishing Hook, Stone Skin on Arthas, making him very tanky. He didn't take Spell Shield, but Biting Cold on level 16, or level 13, and here they jump in again. Splendor is trying to go for the Emerald Wind. That didn't do too much for them though, and Sylvanas is already dead as they're just rushing in again. Great strafe here from Selim. He gets a full strafe off, but it's not going to be enough. Breeze is getting jumped and dies. Sindragosa is too late, and they kill against Vala now too, and Illidan, he just doesn't stop. This guy does not know when to stop and takes down Brightwing now too, and with 4 or 5 heroes, they are moving in. They lost the first map against Navi, and they want to end it right now. There's only 1 hero still alive, and Fnatic, they go for the kill. 12 minutes in, they are at the core already. They're jumping straight for it. A really, really good hook, but this is of course going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. this is way too much damage and way too fast. Sylvanas won't change that. Great games here by Fnatic. A great draft in the last game, securing their victory in the grand final here. With a 2-1, they take down Navi and secure themselves another grand final victory. Congratulations to Fnatic. Well played and a great job against Navi here in this series.
And Fnatic, they win the best of 3, they take 2 maps in a row, very well played here by them. They win on Cursed Hall with an enormous momentum that they were able to build up here. The composition that they had just worked so much better than what Navi had here, and Fnatic, without a problem at all, wins the 3rd map as well. Great play by them, but you can really tell how the meta is starting to shift already a bit. This was of course only the first tournament, it was right after the patch hit, so the teams experiment a lot here still, but really interesting to see how those changes are already affecting a lot of the traditional heroes that we had in the game. I personally can't wait for the next few weeks when we will see both of the, well, all of the teams actually in all of the regions trying to adapt to the patch and come up with new ideas, new builds, new compositions. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed those videos as well. It was a pleasure casting for you. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure to drop a comment in the comment section. I'm going to see you guys on the channel with more Heroes of the Storm content in the future. Have a great day. Bye bye.